you think of Captain America Brave New World looking to have gotten more reshoots after another test screening for the film? So this was reported by Daniel RPK. He is a leaker, and in the world of like pure leakers, not film journalists with scoops and reports, but the world of leakers. He's one of the biggest names in the field and theoretically one of the most reliable. The world of leakers is inherently a not particularly reliable field, but if there's a leaker you're going to trust, he's one of the ones that's higher up there. He's got a lot of sources and a lot of things that he leaks out there. And this past week, it was reported they did another test screening for Brave New World, and it still was not very well received. And just everything surrounding this film feels like trouble. Like they just can't crack the code on this one. There were a few kind of specific statements in there about the movie that feels unnecessary, things like that. Like the reports kind of listed a few words, but it just wasn't very good. Like it just doesn't pop. And looks like they're going to do more reshoots to try and find it. Now, keep in mind, this movie was supposed to come out earlier this year. It was supposed to have already come out, and now it doesn't come out until February. And they've had multiple rounds of reshoots, supposedly. One of them where they cut a character out. They brought in Giancarlo Esposito to be a new character. Some of the delays were due to the strikes, and some of it was the studio knows that they made some mistakes and they're trying to course correct, and so they brought people in to do some big changes and fix things. But the problem is when you start on a faulty foundation, there's not that much that you can really do. And if you've already invested all this money into it, you're trying to like patchwork Frankenstein fix something that was never good to begin with. It was just too broken to begin with. And that was part of the problem during the last few years, is that it seemed like they microwaved the scripts. They had this we'll fix it in post mindset. They hired unproven talent, screenwriters, directors to do the projects. And then they'd be heavily managed by the producers, and then they'd try and fix it in post. And this wasn't a good model. It produced multiple films that were their lowest on Rotten Tomatoes, really low on Rotten Tomatoes, and bad word of mouth as the fans started to realize that the actual director isn't the director, it's this unknown group of people up here. And you can feel which movies were written and directed by a person, Guardians 3, versus a committee, Ant-Man 3. And in the case of Captain America Brave New World, they got the writers of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that I don't think wrote one of their better shows, and they got the director of Cloverfield Paradox, which is not a good movie. In fact, it's a movie it's famous and infamous for the same thing, which is the movie wasn't announced, no trailer came out. The trailer debuted during the Super Bowl, 7 years back, and the trailer at the end of it said, as soon as the game's over, watch on Netflix. So they did this gimmick. Then, there's a new Cloverfield movie? Well, let's watch it. And then the movie wasn't very good. That's the guy they got to direct this gigantic Captain America film. So you get unproven director that has a spotty track record. So apparently one of his other movies is better, but the one that people know, this big sci-fi film, not very good. Screenwriters that don't have a great track record. And they shot a script that apparently wasn't very good. And it was from an era where they were not firing on all cylinders. And so you've got this broken film. The foundation, the bones aren't very good, and there's only so much you can do to course correct that. There's only so much you can do to fix that, and it seems like they just don't know what to do with this thing because they keep throwing more and more money at it. So the more and more money throw at it, the more it's like, man, we need this thing to be good. We need this thing to be good. But you started with something bad. You microwaved a script with unproven talent. And this is the ramifications of it. This is the consequences of doing that.
Most of these clips are pulled from my Patreon live streams. I do about 6 live streams every single month. For $2 per month, $20 per year, you can get access to all the exclusive videos and live streams. For $5 per month, you get your name on my end card. At the top tier, you get a 30-minute video chat with me each month. The link down below in the description has more information.